Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Syazwan Arif bin Mazin. Today my groupmate and I will be presenting our project for Intermediate Financial Accounting and Reporting ACC407. The presentation today will be presented by the students of BA240 Business Marketing, which is me and my classmates. Today we'll talk about business background, business characteristics, classification of item in business, recording process, and strength and weakness. This is Natural Beauty Enterprise that we have chosen as our project assignment. Okay, let's start with the business background. Natural Beauty Enterprise is a single proprietorship, which means there is just one owner. Until now, the company owner has gotten all of the funds required to launch the company. Natural Beauty Enterprise chose Johor Bahru as a strategic location since it was easily accessible to their target customers. Additionally, providers of the required item with the highest quality may be locally located nearby, ensuring that there will be no out-of-stock situations and that shipping costs will be minimized. Okay, let's move on to business characteristics. Natural Beauty Enterprise is a sole proprietorship business owned by Ms. Sarah Norafika binti Mazli. She started the business in 2013. Her business sells ready-made jewelry, custom-made jewelry to her customers. For instance, her jewelry includes necklaces, rings, earrings, chains, pearls, and many others. Ms. Sarah used her own social media platform to advertise her business. She even created an official social media account for her business. She used platforms to promote her business such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and WhatsApp. She can save the expenses as she doesn't have to pay for the marketing to advertise for her business. This is the classification of item in business, which is asset, expenses, revenue, and owner equity.
Next, for asset during the early days, Natural Beauty Enterprise will have current asset, which is inventories. But due to their growth now, they have possessed current assets such as cash in hand, which the cash that they have made from the transactions between seller and customer that paid by cash. The next one is the inventory, which consists of their raw materials, and lastly the bank, which they have used CIMB Bank for all their business transactions, such as the customer that paid by credit or the business that paid by credit to their supplier. For non-current asset, Natural Beauty Enterprise has jewelry plate amounting 300 ringgit, machinery 2,500 ringgit for customized jewel, and display props and shelves amounting 350 ringgit, and the computer amounting 1,500 ringgit. Next, the type of expenses involved in the business is mainly cost of sales, which purchase from suppliers, administration and distribution costs, and other expenses. For that, Ms. Sarah, the owner, spent 1,000 ringgit for raw materials such as metal and gemstones to produce the jewel. For salary, RM 2,400 ringgit spent, which is RM 1,200 ringgit for 2 workers. For the bills, the owner paid total 1,650 ringgit, whereas the electrical bill amount 1,500 ringgit and phone bill amount 150 ringgit. She also paid 2,000 ringgit for the rent. Other than that, the owner spent 550 ringgit that consists shipping that costs 150 ringgit and packaging costs RM 400 ringgit. Roughly, the owner spent around 7,600 ringgit per month for her business expenses.
Okay, for revenue, when a sale occurs, revenue is recorded in the accounting system. The initial source of income for Natural Beauty Enterprise comes from the sales of items. Natural Beauty Enterprise, for example, recently got an order from Miss Aisha, who made payment for the transaction on 12th of October using her online banking. For owner equity, there are two types of owner equity involved for Ms. Sarah as the owner of the Natural Beauty Enterprise, whereas the first is the capital and the second is computer. Owner equity is the fund supplied by the owner to the business to acquire assets for the company. Ms. Sarah has brought in a capital amounting of 20,000 ringgit Malaysia into her business. In addition, she also brought in a computer for her daily business operation.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Alif Ikhwan bin Nazri. So I'm going to talk about financial transaction. Okay. When buyers and sellers exchange something like commodities, services, or financial assets for money, it is called transactions. In this case, transactions happen when Miss Sarah exchange or trade her jewelries for money with the customers or buyers. Okay. She then will record the transaction in a ledger book so she can observe her business at the end of the month. Me and my friend interview Miss Sarah. She told us that she used two types of transactions in her business, which is cash and credit. This will be easier for the customer if they did not bring cash, because they can pay by credit. Because Miss Sarah business is still a small business, so she only used two types of transactions. Miss Sarah also use cash to pay the supplier. So every transactions between supplier, between customer will be recorded in a ledger book so she can observe the business anytime she want or at the end of the month.
So next, we will look at the company's strengths and also weaknesses based on their financial transaction. So the first strength is having no liability. The company does not have any credit transaction because they prefer to have transaction in cash. This means no one owns no money to anyone else. Next, this company has good quality products. This is because there is no written inward recorded in the business recording process. This shows that the customers are satisfied with the goods that the company sold to them and they have no complaint about them. The method of recording transaction, however, has limitation. To begin with, this company lacks a proper system for recording their financial activities. This could provide a difficulty for the company as calculating their profit or loss will be difficult. They might also miss some transactions, resulting in inaccurate expenses or revenues. And the last but not least, the company disregards the concept of company entity. The concept of a business entity states that the company and their owner are considered different entities. The company, on the other hand, does not follow this rule, as they keep both their personal and also business fund in their personal bank account. When the owner or the company needs to summarize their business inflows and outflows, this can be confusing for them.